In the studio now after driving how many Ks, Steve?
16 hours both ways. What's that? I don't know, 1,500 Ks, something like that. 3,000 probably all up.
Yeah. And over to New South Wales?
Yep. It was a good trip, actually. It's interesting. Coming home always seems to go faster than going somewhere. Doesn't matter whether it's that sort of vast trip or whatever. The way home, I think psychologically, there's something that goes on. I know horses are like that. You take horses out. When I've been told by horse trainers, when you turn around to come home, off they go. They're one track.
They know. Yeah, yes. I'm going home now. Let's go all the way now.
I was actually interested. Hindmarsh Square's blocked off. You probably don't know this. It's blocked off out there at the moment. There's a huge crane
or something in there.
When I was driving, I thought it was here.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, Richard's doing something to lift his ratings.
No, nothing on mine. Let me tell. I thought they were getting somebody out of one of the rooms next door. So yes, who hadn't paid the bill.
Yes.
Now, what are we discussing today?
Domain names, and we're discussing it. I know I try and keep things generally not too technical, but this morning for the third time this week, someone said, "Hey, Steve, I've got a great idea. I've bought the domain name for it. That's all I need to do, isn't it?"
There's a bit more than that.
There is just a bit, and I started coming up. This analogy hit me, and I thought I'd just share it with you because whether or not you've got a great idea and you want to do this, or you're just a consumer who consumes things, it might be interesting to know. So imagine it was you, Richard. I thought this would be a great way to explain it. And you want to move into the confectionery business. All right. You want to come up with one of those all-day suckers to rival Willy Wonka's, the everlasting Gobstopper that he had.
Yes.
All right. So you go out and you register richardsalldaysucker.com.au.
Right. That sounds a dreadful name, but yes.
All right. So at the moment, here's the analogy. That's not going to do anything for you. The only person who will find you is someone who actually physically types in richardsalldaysucker.com.au, which almost no one's going to do.
Yep.
It's like you've got your nice little all-day sucker business cards done, and you've put a little pile on your front doorstep. Then you can't see that from the street. But if someone happens to come up to your front door, then they'll see it. That's a ridiculous approach to marketing.
But people think that's the way to do it, don't they?
And so here's how I explained it this morning. I said, well, first of all, at the bare minimum, you've got to move those little business cards at least to the footpath so people have a chance to see them, or in a notice board in the local store, or if there's a local market, have a stall there, those sorts of things.
Can we go along and put it on a social media platform?
Yes, of course.
If we're over 16.
I knew that would come up.
For it. So, and then can help drive business.
And you could have tastings of your all-day sucker at, say, the local fair. Or I know that Kyton's Bakery here, they do the recipes for their lamingtons. You chop them up with berries and you make desserts. There might be something...
We love Kyton's lamingtons.
Oh, we do. Let's try and get some next week. So, look, these are things that you could do to try and get that out there. But you don't just do it for the sake of it. You've got to think, who is the Richard's all-day sucker for?
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, if you've got a long day at work, it's a nice convenient thing you can have lying around. Big road trips.
Or big night out.
Big night out.
Big night out. I've heard that the kids like things like Chupa Chups and things.
Well, they do. All sorts of things. Yeah. They test them before they go in. Yeah. But, and also a lazy day fishing, whatever. Yeah. Is something just to suck on throughout the day. So the equivalent for a website now is maybe you put some words on a website with that domain name, and maybe some pages that explain the different ways that you can use it in recipes.
And where I can buy the all-day sucker from.
Exactly, which hopefully will be the website as well. And so the one thing I want to be keen to stress is everyone thinks, oh, everything's all digital. Well, yes, it is, but you can actually go out and do things. So, for example, let's imagine there are people out there going their hardest with Richard's all-day sucker and just loving it. Nona Mona she'd be a great model.
Yep.
You want to encourage her to share her experience on social media.
Yes.
So you might have a campaign, you might give her a hashtag so that she shares her experience. Imagine Stacey Lee convincing her to have an all-day sucker, Richard's all-day sucker, can it last through her shift? These are little bits of PR gold you could work with. And so you can see we've gone from having a little collection of business cards on your front porch, which is just the domain name by itself, to actually thinking creatively about how we get your all day sucker into lots of people's hands.
A lot of the time people will pick business names or domain names which are far too long.
True. Oh, which is why richardsalldaysucker.com, I wouldn't advise you to go down that pathway. But here's the thing. Some people just staunchly stick to their business name as the domain name. You don't need to do that. In fact, there is some argument in the circles, but there is some benefit when what you do or what you sell or the solution you offer is wrapped in your domain name itself, because it marries what people are searching into Google. And so you've got everything all sort of aligned in the same way. So this just came up because I'm sure there are people who got the best idea in the world. They want to get out there and they're thinking, well, it's $20 a year to get a domain name. Let's do that and watch the money roll in. Well,
no, you need something to sell. There is more to, and I've had that conversation with people.
Of course,
I've got a great idea.
Yes.
Have you?
Well, but also beyond that, there are other ways. So radio advertising, for example, is a great way to get that awareness and then point people back to your website. Signage on vehicles. Imagine you've got Adelaide Tech Guy on yours. Well, the other side could have Richard's All Day Sucker.
Could too.
And you could hand out little samples wherever you go.
Exactly right. So, yeah. But, it really is something that people just don't consider, isn't it, Steve?
That's right. And here's the thing, and I think this came up, I was running a workshop on AI earlier this week. It can tap our most base instincts because we think, we can be lazy. It's going to do everything. And some of that thinking is, hey, all I need is the domain name. It's all going to happen. No, we need to earn the attention. And that means you can't imagine, Google's not a mind reader. It's got to be led.
Australian government think it is. I'll just put that out there right now.
Gee, you've got to be over 16 to listen to this show.
Yeah.
So look, you're dead right. It's we have been lulled into thinking, because there are so many gurus out there who say, it's all easy, everything's fixable. Boom. I woke up this morning, there was a big thing on social media about all of that, and they try and show these people, now we're earning 7 figures every month, and you just know it's not true.
No.
But we get lulled because
cynical, Steve.
Our brain has evolved to try and do the least amount of work possible. That's how we survive as a species. And that's where these sort of things come in and make it seem too easy. But I have got one question as I was driving in here. If you did come up with Richard's All Day Sucker,
yes,
what flavour would it be? Have you got a favourite that you'd go to? When you think of people licking your little bit of candy around the world, what flavour would you want to be associated with?
It's a hard question. Probably a lime flavour, because lime is quite refreshing.
Interesting. And do you know what? I'm a chocolate milkshake guy most of the time, but when I was a kid, I always ordered lime milkshakes. Yeah. And I think I did it primarily because I could.
Yes.
Rather than because it was it was all right.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, lime and milk is not really a match. Although
it's the golden...
No, I just remembered the lime ice cream, Golden North Mate. That's nice.
Yeah.
It's just in my head. Yeah. So, okay, so it's Richard Order. I could even make this website for you if you want.
Oh,
Richard's. Yeah. We just have to source some product.
Exactly right.
A big green, what would it be, a flat lollipop or a round like Chupa Chup kind of thing? What?
Round like a Chupa Chup.
Round
like we've got to change, otherwise we'll just say it's a takeoff of Chupa Chups.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Or a different shape. Is there a shape from your computer world that will work? Maybe. No? Okay. We'd have to, this is where, come and see me through the week. We'll make an appointment.
Exactly right. Where can we find out more about you, Steve?
Talkedaboutmarketing.com.
That's very good. Come in next week, Steve.
I will be. I won't miss it for quids.
Very good. It is now 1:37. We're going to go to a short break and be right back here on FiVEAA.